So where did we go, Mr. Edmund?
So we went to LA.
LA, yeah.
The land of fires.
Land of the Fires.
And we also went to Texas, Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh,
yeah.
Land of Dead. Because
Land
there
of
was
the Dead.
nothing to do there.
Yeah.
There was
Really?
no one. There was no one on the road.
Which city? Because isn't Austin supposed to be like really popping nowadays?
Yeah, so there's Austin, which is like 3 hours. So there's Texas, and Austin is like, I think it's down.
Yeah,
Down
well, I
south.
don't know where it is, but
It's
yeah.
3 hours away from where we were.
Right.
We were in Fort Worth, which is
The
closer
next-
to Dallas.
Yeah, the next closest city is Dallas. They
Dallas,
share an
okay.
airport with Dallas.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Dallas might have been, or from what I've heard from our colleagues, was that Dallas was pretty like popular. It was popping,
yeah.
Mm.
especially because they had the NBA game there as well. So,
Mhm.
but compared to like Fort Worth, it was like super dead. Apparently, we didn't go to Dallas. Like we
Yeah.
tried to, but we didn't really end up there.
we did. Like we went to Dallas Chinatown.
Yeah.
So we thought that our colleagues, I think they wanted Asian food.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
of course we came up with a solution to go to Chinatown.
Yeah.
And when we went there, I was expecting like a whole because every time you go to a Chinatown, it's something big.
Yeah.
It's pretty vibrant, and then there's a lot of like Chinese decorations.
Is that like
Yeah.
the pillar thing?
The
The
pillar
pillar
gates
things.
and all
Yeah,
that.
all that,
Gates,
yeah.
yeah.
And then
And
we
it's
went.
like
Yeah.
people shouting everywhere and like kind of smells.
yeah.
And yeah, you've got like a bunch of tourist trap food, but it's like as soon as you walk farther from the gates, you'd see the actual authentic food and all that.
Mhm.
So but it was like just a little plaza.
Yeah. Oh,
Ended up
really?
being a little plaza. It had 1.5k reviews, 4 point something stars on Google, but we got there and we're like, what the heck is this? It's literally just a tiny plaza, bro, with like a supermarket, a few Chinese restaurants, and like a lot of Indian restaurants as well.
Yeah. A few.
Yeah. So that was like still a good like 20 k's away from Dallas, even though it was Dallas Chinatown. But yeah, we were meant to go to Dallas downtown afterwards because we thought that Chinatown would be close to the city center, right?
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
usually is.
Yeah.
But no, it would have taken another 30 minutes to get to downtown. And this was on our last day where we actually had the flight to go back to Sydney that
Ah,
night. So
Mhm.
yeah, we just needed to go back to Fort Worth and get our stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
yeah, it
Then,
is.
then was your like event at Fort Worth?
It was
Or-
at Fort Worth, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that? So for the listeners, like what event was it?
It was a sales kickoff, so an SKO. So most companies, sales orgs, they would meet up once a year.
Yeah.
In our case, we went to meet up in Fort Worth, Texas, and it was good. It was good. Like you can't hate on a trip that's fully
Paid for.
Mhm.
But it was really good. I really enjoyed it, even though it was a bit dead, but
Mm.
I got somewhat of an American experience.
Mhm.
Mm.
How do you feel like? How do you feel?
The city, like it's just your typical American city when you're walking the
Mhm.
streets and stuff, like high rise, it's like a few high rises, and it just like feels American, but it was like super quiet. I don't know if it's because there was like a sudden change of weather over the week. So apparently it never gets that cold in Texas, according to some of our like Texan colleagues.
Mm.
And they're like, oh, I don't know what's happening. It got to like -6 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like freezing. I would walk out of the hotel, and if I didn't have my hands in my pocket, let's say if I was just using the nav or something, my hands would start like hurting after
Oh,
maybe like
really?
2 minutes, bro. So it was like really cold, especially transitioning from like the 40-degree Sydney heat, Aussie heat, over
To
to
the LA fires.
LA fires.
and
Yeah,
then
Yeah.
to that cold.
yeah, man. So like it was pretty, like it was very quiet, like especially the city. It was like we stayed like downtown, and it was like super dead. And I guess I'm kind of glad that it was like dead, because that meant like we only went to places that we needed to go to, so I didn't have to walk out in the cold and stuff and like just
Right.
explore the place. I'm like, oh, my hands are so cold and like I'm freaking freezing. I didn't pack enough clothes as well, so Yeah.
Yeah.
But if in terms of like if I would like recommend anyone to go
Yeah,
there,
would you recommend a trip to Fort Worth?
I probably wouldn't like unless you're just really into like cowboys and rodeo stuff. I think they have a bit of that because they have a place called was this Stockyards?
yeah.
It's this part of town where it's just like rows and rows of like bars, pubs, restaurants, and it's pretty cowboy themed. Everything revolves around like bulls and all that stuff. And like we went to see like a rodeo as well, like at our work event. So our work organized something like that. So that was pretty cool.
I'm imagining something that was like in in Borat when like
Yeah.
he like there's that rodeo and then he starts like singing. It's kind of like that.
Oh no, it wasn't that big. It was like a private-ish rodeo. They
Okay,
probably have
yeah.
some big stuff like that, but yeah, honestly, we didn't really feel like we like immersed in the culture. There really wasn't much to do there. Like
Right.
we probably like immersed in like the American culture. We like went around just hunting down like different fast food chains to try. Like especially
Nice.
with this guy because he hasn't been to the US in
Mhm.
quite some
Like
time.
5 years.
Yeah.
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 But we hunted down a lot of fast food chains. And
What was
was
the
pretty
top
good.
ones? What the favorites?
my favorite, I think number one would be, although we got it and it was a little bit soggy, it was, I would say, still Raising Cane's.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I think
Cane's.
Raising Cane's would be my top because just giving it the benefit of the doubt because I feel like it would be a lot better if we did get it fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And close number two would be Chick-fil-A
Mm.
and followed by In-N-Out.
Mm.
In and Out was really good. I do like In and Out. But yeah, man, like we, I think like majority of the highlights of the trip would have been going to LA to see our
Mhm.
relatives and stuff again, and filming the recent episode or the previous
The
episode.
previous episode, yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty good. Got some like content and stuff. But yeah, besides that, man, like Texas was just a bit of a blur to me.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
I wish we went to Dallas or maybe stayed an extra day to go to Dallas. But yeah, Fort Worth was just not it.
Yeah.
Sorry to the Fort Worth listeners out there. Maybe you guys can leave a comment, and if we
Yeah.
got it completely wrong or wasted our time, just doing nothing, just tell us what we could have done and change our minds. But for now,
Yeah.
it's not
No,
the
go.
place to be. Do
the
not go
place-
there.
Like honestly, I expected to have like solid Texas barbecue, which we
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of did, but I wasn't satisfied.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
We went to
satisfied.
this place where it's kind of like a cafeteria style type of ordering. You know when you've gone to those Japanese restaurants like what's that place? That udon place in the city.
Yeah.
You get a tray sort of
You just
thing.
walk down the aisle.
Yeah, you walk
Mhm.
down, you get your drink, or you choose stuff. But this one was similar to that. You get your drinks, and then you go choose like your sides, like your potatoes, rice, chips, or whatever. And then you
Yeah.
go over to the meat section, and they sell it by weight. You get brisket, beef ribs, pork ribs, bunch of other stuff. But like the brisket, like was what I was most keen for. We
Mhm.
got like one of each, like pork ribs, beef ribs, and brisket. But when we sat down and started eating, the brisket was so dry, dude.
Yeah,
Ah,
It was so dry. It
was.
was called Terry Black's, the place, and it was like really highly rated. But the beef ribs were amazing though. The
Okay.
beef ribs
Yeah.
like fell off the bone, super tender, super juicy. But the
Yeah.
brisket was like, what the hell, bro?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And it was also extremely expensive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
How much
pretty expensive.
Australian was like one of your meals?
I think altogether I think that meal we spent like 230 USD.
What? Between the two of you?
No, not
Like 5 people.
Five
Okay,
people,
yeah,
but
yeah.
one didn't eat, so he was just chilling. So it was 4 people,
People,
230 USD, which what that equates to roughly around like what 300 something,
300 something, yeah.
300 something,
Yeah, 350 or something.
350. I think
Yes.
it wasn't like that much food, but it was the
Yeah. It's like
yeah.
$80 at least.
Yeah.
around
$80,
that,
yeah.
My math's not too quick,
yeah,
but
exactly.
Yeah.
And it was very casual as well, the
Yeah.
dining experience.
Damn.
Yeah, man. But it's a shame, that we couldn't go to Austin and maybe like Houston as well, because there's a few things that I wanted to go to there.
Yeah, you could have visited B Team.
B Team, exactly. That's
Could
what
have, yeah.
Edmund wanted to do.
No, I don't think I can because I believe that they only accept blue belt and above.
I think they
Did
got
they?
rid of that rule.
Oh,
Yeah.
did they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that was a rule at the beginning. But then now
Oh,
they're like, oh, whoever can just pop in.
oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So that would have been good. There was also like a Muay Thai gym that I wanted to go to. I remember it was in Texas, but when I searched it up, it was in San Antonio,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is another city. It's a guy called like TJ the Thinking Man. That's his name on
Yeah,
on
the thinking
Instagram. He's this black guy like with an afro and a son and they just do videos online. They have
On his
his
Muay
little
Thai.
dojo and stuff, doing Muay Thai and stuff, and he's like really really good at just explaining shit. So I was like, oh, if I'm ever in the area or ever in the US again, because we do go quite often, I'm gonna go visit this guy. But I guess it was still too far. Yeah, I think it was like a 5 hour drive. So
Damn.
yeah,
Okay.
Would that
Yeah,
be
man.
in Austin or?
San Antonio.
San
It's a
Antonio.
different city. I don't know how far it is
But
from
it's in
each-
Texas.
It's in Texas, yeah.
Right, okay.
San Antonio, Texas. Yeah. But like on that topic, today we're gonna be, for the listeners, welcome back to another episode of Backdoor Banter, your guide to self-improvement from a few guys figuring it out. And today what we're gonna talk about, I was trying to allude to, was combat sports. You've heard us all talk about it like briefly. We might hint at that, like, oh, at BJJ, like, to be consistent, I do this, or we kind of like touch on it, but we don't really
Mentioned it a few times.
mention
yeah.
it a few times. Yeah. So it is like a big part of our lives, and we want to talk about like our experiences with it, and maybe some recommendations on like different types of combat sports or what we've trained, and like just talk about like how to get into it and why we got into it.
Mm.
Yeah. So why don't we all start off with starting from you, Justin? What do you train? Like, what disciplines do you know? Do you have?
Yeah. Yeah, so I basically only do like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So
Mhm.
like mostly a grappler. So I've
I
done
thought you
like
did karate as well, bro.
Oh, that's true. Okay. You know what? In my heart, I do karate. When I was very little, I used to like do my punches and everything, do my
Yeah.
blocks.
Yeah.
Did a few years of that and then stopped at some point when I was little, but that's kind of where I started.
Yeah.
The next kind of thing that I kind of did was when I got to uni, I joined the Muay Thai club.
Oh yeah.
And I went to like 3 lessons.
Mm.
It was fun, but it was just a bit too far because I live in like I live out west, and then
Mhm.
uni was like all the way in the east. So by the time I did my 7 o'clock class, I would get home at like 11 or something. So it's just
Yeah.
it's too
Damn.
unreasonable. So that didn't stick, but I guess I've always had an interest in it. I just like, I don't know, there's something about martial arts and combat sports that's just very appealing. And then at a certain point, I just really got into like this guy Jocko Willing. I got into his podcast. He's kind of the same vibes like Joe Rogan, just very very dude focused. And then they always talk about like jiu-jitsu, and then they really kind of sold me on it. And I think what he was saying was basically like, if you're ever in like a street altercation, right, you can just run away. If someone's trying to
Yeah.
box with you, you don't need to box with them. You can just start running. The only time it becomes a problem is if they start grabbing you, and now your option
Yeah.
to leave, to exit, is no longer there.
Mhm.
So no matter what, you always need a little bit of grappling to like kind of disengage against their grappling,
Mhm.
and then you just run off.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a very good explanation to me. And then, all of these people that I kind of respected was doing it. So I gave it a try, and then just like fell in love with it like immediately.
Mm.
Yeah, and then been doing it for like 6 years now. So.
Yeah. So you were doing it before it was cool, right? Was it
Before-
cool yet?
I,
Was
I
it cool
feel,
yet?
I feel like it was getting cool. It was
was
cool
just gay
amongst
at that point.
it was getting it was getting cool amongst a certain type of person, which was like
Alright.
people dudes who listen to podcasts, basically.
You
So-
guys.
Yes, you guys. But I don't think it was as mainstream as it is now.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
grown a lot. So I guess it was like to the point where because it started off with like no one really knowing what it is, and then Hoist Gracie came into UFC 1, and
yeah.
that the recipe to win in the UFC was just jiu-jitsu,
yeah.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And it
yeah.
was seen more of as like just a superior martial arts for a while, and like no one really knew how to deal with it. And then when the game became more like
more
popularized,
well-rounded.
more
Yeah,
well-rounded, yeah. And then for some reason it started attracting the nerds,
Yes.
the software engineers, right?
Yeah, the
And
accountants.
the accountants and all that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But Now that I think of it, why does it? Why does it attract that type of crowd?
I think it's just because if you think about it a lot,
Yeah.
like it actually helps. Like I feel like a lot of other sports, it's more about putting in the hours to just like train.
Mhm.
Where like boxing, you just got to put in a lot of reps. You got to like,
Yeah.
I assume you just like there's not much thinking involved.
Mm.
Whereas with jujitsu, you like if you run into a problem, you can kind of just like go on YouTube, like look up a
Yeah.
solution. You can kind of do a bit of research,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you come back and then it'll start working.
True.
So if you're kind of a bit of a thinker, like
Yeah.
it actually kind of benefits you. You can kind of like study it.
Mm.
And then I think you can genuinely beat people who are like much bigger than you. Like
Yeah, that's
within,
right.
Within the
I was
confines
thinking that.
of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So it's like, it feels really rewarding as well.
Yeah, because that was the whole marketing behind it, right? Like Gracie's Jiu-Jitsu, they choose the purposely choose the smallest brother who was the worst at Jiu-Jitsu, like in the entire Gracie family. I don't know if he was the worst, but I heard he, like, obviously there's a Horian and all those other guys that are much better than him, but they got the smallest brother, Gracie brother, to like go against like these big juiced up guys like Ken Shamrock and all that. And
Shamrock.
yeah, and like the whole marketing was like if you knew Jiu-Jitsu, you can destroy guys that are like 20, 30 kilos heavier than you weigh.
Yeah.
And I guess like that crowd, maybe like they didn't really exercise as much, bit smaller, a bit slimmer. They're like, let's try this jiu-jitsu, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. It's like, it sells a really good story.
Yeah, it
and
does.
like, to be honest, it's true. Like if
Yeah.
the other guy doesn't know anything at all, you've got a real shot at like beating them. But like going back to like Hoist Gracie, that reminded me, that was one of the big reasons I started as well. Because, I've always been like a casual fan of like UFC. But then at some point I just went and pirated UFC 1 and then went back and watched it. And I was like, oh wow, this is like, it actually like, I was kind of reliving that moment where the world kind of started seeing how effective like grappling was.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, I'm signing up.
You're signing up.
Yeah.
Dang, you're solid. Nice.
Yeah.
So 6 years now, and you've just got your blue belt.
Just got my blue belt. Most
Yeah.
people get it after 2 years. I took my time with it. But yeah, still going strong, still loving it.
Nice, man.
Yeah. What about you?
Me,
terms of
yeah.
Combat sports in general.
Combat sports in general. The first ever taste of like martial arts that I had was through like Kung Fu, Shaolin. So our best friend at the time, Thomas,
Yeah,
in primary school, he was doing Shaolin Kung Fu, and I know like I remember you were doing karate, and I was just watching South Park at home. So I was like, damn, man, I feel left out. I need to do something. And because like Thomas's parents also knew my parents, like, I thought it was like easier just to go together and stuff. And if if my parents couldn't take me or whatever, like, so like they could probably take me. So,
carpool,
exactly.
Yeah.
So we just did that, and I just asked Thomas, hey man, like, where do you train? He's like, oh yeah, just here at like the Teacher Association. I was like, okay, cool. And I just rocked up, and I think I did it for like 5 years, bro.
Wow.
5 years, 6 years. It was only once a week though, every Saturday night at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Like sometimes till 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. 2 hours a week, and I didn't learn anything.
So was it very much like kind of like was it just like babysitting kids and you just play games, or was it just that?
It seemed more like
Kind of,
like a chiller session, not really a cardio session, but it was. I think it was probably a bit more of a slower paced, lighter paced class, because there were probably maybe like I'd say the class comprised of about like 50% children, or people under the age of 18. So yeah, it was more to tailor towards us. And Shaolin, if you look at like Shaolin monks and stuff on like YouTube and all that, it's all about like hardening the body, conditioning, a lot of like even like mental toughness and stuff as well. But you see monks like kicking each other in the nuts and doing all these like crazy shit, like breaking stuff on each other's backs, and they don't feel it. So we did do like conditioning stuff like that, like forms, as you would with any traditional martial arts. But the main thing that like the reason why I don't think I learned anything from it was that there was no sparring involved, no
Mhm.
situational like based things, so we couldn't really apply what we learned.
There was a little bit. There was a little bit like the one where you would do the thing and you try to make them move to the side. You remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
It was like you would demonstrate like because it was like qi gong.
Oh
And you
yeah.
would try to make them move with your chi, and I think some people were successful, some people weren't.
What with chi, like not touching them?
Not really, not you like you're holding. I think they're holding your wrist or something.
Oh, is it
Oh,
like push
yeah.
hands? Is that what it's called?
Something.
Yeah.
Not it was not the one where you do like long arm, but like
Yeah.
the one where you like they'll hold onto your wrist and you push them and you go like this. So, like, you point
Oh,
your fingers to the
right,
and
right,
they'll-
right,
and they'll
right.
Actually, like tilt to the
Yeah.
right.
Oh.
Okay,
Do you-
yeah.
Do you remember that?
I think I vaguely remember that. I think yeah, it was just all like I don't even know what it was called, but I think it's probably like similar to like Aikido, where you just like move your wrist, and
Yeah.
if they're
sure,
like really gripping onto your forearms like that, like really tight, and then you try to move them and stuff. I guess so, but like it's not really a real context, right? No one's just gonna grab onto your arm, just stare at you like that, and like
yeah,
and
that's
just
true, that's
stand
true.
there. So I think the only like the furthest extent when it came to like sparring or like I guess task based games were like we would like block punches. Like someone will start like punching like doing like 1 2 3, or not 1 2 3, just like 3 straight punches, and like you would just have to block it, and there were like sequences for it, like punch block number 1 is this, punch block number 2 is this,
yeah.
3.
Oh, yeah.
So that was it, but it just became like process work because
Mhm.
it was just like let's say us two would partner. I'll do boom boom boom, you block it, and then you punch back, boom boom boom, and it's just like back and forth, back
a
and
lot of
forth.
drilling.
And it got to the point where it was just like combining 2 blocks at once. So it's like you're meant to like take it out. Like someone was to punch you take it out of the center line, and then you push it away from their body, and then you punch back. But then I remember at one point we just put the 2 together and just like basically push their arm up. I don't know. It was, but basically just like became like a whole big fuck around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so did that for like 2 years as a kid.
five
5 years, sorry.
5
yeah,
years, yeah. 5 years, a long time. And didn't touch any combat sports thing like since then. Like would watch the UFC here and then, but wasn't really a like huge fan. Wouldn't really interest me too much. Like, but up until just like 2 and a bit years ago, I went to Thailand with my partner, and I think I discussed this in our traveling pod maybe, on why like Thailand was my favorite location to travel to. But yeah, went to Thailand, signed up for a Muay Thai class because I found it on Klook, and rocked up. Wasn't really expecting too much. Just thought it would be like a workout, and like after actually doing it, like for 2 hours, I was like, damn, this is pretty fun. This is pretty good. I'm gonna do it when I get home, and signed up for like a Muay Thai gym when I went home, and yeah, I've been training that for like 2 years. Along with that, Edmund and I went to Thailand as well to train at Bangtao MMA. And prior to going there, I think like 1 to 2 months before that, I hit up Justin like to come over and roll with us because I wanted to learn some jiu-jitsu,
Mhm.
because like I wanted to just take advantage of the membership that I'm paying there because it's an MMA gym. So I want to do some jiu-jitsu as well, especially because he's doing it. So yeah, been training that like jiu-jitsu on and off for like, I don't know. Well, I think that from then till now, it's probably been like a year and a bit, but like in terms of like training wise, probably been to like 30 something classes, so 30 something hours of jiu-jitsu. Can qualify for my first stripe, but
Hey.
yeah, that's
Nice.
basically it. And I think like when the reason I'm interested in it so much as well, because with Muay Thai, like when I first started, like maybe my second or third class, I would start searching up like techniques and videos on YouTube about it, and I just get into this rabbit hole of like different fighters and all that, and then start watching the UFC more, and there's just this whole like community around it that I just like really enjoy seeing, and obviously the entertainment part when people trash talk each other as well is pretty funny. So yeah, that's
Chow Sun and
yeah,
Conor
and-
McGregor.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But yeah, man, how about you, Eden?
Well, first, yeah. So my first taste of getting into martial arts was the same as Lawrence. So I was actually forced into doing Shaolin as opposed to Lawrence. Lawrence, he actually wanted to do it. I was forced into it by my dad. I think he was like, "Look, your brother's doing Shaolin Kung Fu. Like he knows how to fight people. So you have to start as well." And as a kid, like I wasn't very aggressive, and I just honestly I didn't want to go.
Lover, not a fighter.
Lover, not a fighter. And then I kept pushing it off, and then my dad I think he just forced me to go. And then one day I think I was in year 5, and then I went with Lawrence, and then I went up, and I was really scared, man. I was terrified because it's just new environment, and I went, and honestly, I never liked it. I never liked going. Like it was like, to me, going to Shaolin was like going to tutor. It was like I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like an enjoyable part of my week. It was just a chore. But nevertheless, it was alright. Met some cool people. And funny thing, a few of the people that I wouldn't say I met, but did train at Shaolin. They train at the same place where I train jiu-jitsu, which is pretty coincidental.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first taste of martial arts, was through Shaolin. And then fast forward to, well, in high school, of course, fast forward to 2022, I got my first taste of, I went into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which was, I got into that on a whim. So what happened?
You started in high school?
No. In high school was when I was curious about Brazilian
gotcha.
Jiu-Jitsu, because everyone would be like, my friend would be like, "Oh, every fight goes to the ground.
Yeah.
Like, every fight will have to go to the ground, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is like top martial arts." And I would also see like a few of my colleagues when I used to work in warehousing, they train Jiu-Jitsu. And I'm like, damn, this guy could probably fucking kill me. Fuck me up. And then it was always an interest of mine. So my first taste of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was, I went for a trial at your gym, the gym you train at now. I went for a trial right after high school. It was like, I did a trial lesson, and then I think I was going to join, and then I started working, and then it just didn't fit my schedule. Then I put it to the side, and then like fast forward 3 years later, I was having dinner with one of my mates, Brandon. Shout out to Brandon. We went dinner with him and a few of my other mates, and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu later. You want to join?" And I think I don't know if we were against that first, but then he convinced us to go, and then we all went, and then I just signed up that day.
Oh, hell yeah!
And that's where it all started.
Was it like you just had a lot of fun that lesson, or was it like you were looking to like take up a sport and like, oh, may as well take?
No, I had a lot of fun that lesson,
Yeah,
and
nice.
it was always something that I wanted to try out.
Yeah.
Although it was in the gi, I kind of wish I started off in like a no gi school, because
Gi's lame.
gi's a bit lame, but can't change the past. But yeah, it was a good starting point. And then fast forward to
I thought sorry, I thought the reason why you joined was because Brandon put you in like a mounted triangle and his nuts smell nice, so you're like, oh, I like that.
Oh, more of this.
fuck, I didn't want to bring that up, bro. That's pretty fucking embarrassing to bring up. But no, that never fucking happened. But he would always try to like wrestle me and shit, and he would always fucking beat me. And I remember there was this one time in, I think that same year where I started doing jiu-jitsu. One of my friends was on mount, and I couldn't get him off, and like I was trying everything, I couldn't get him off, and I felt so demasculated. I felt so weak. And then, that'll never happen again.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
What's that thing Sean Strickland says? It's like, if one man can hold you down, two can rape you.
Oh, yeah.
Justin Gaethje.
Justin
Yeah,
Gaethje.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That's why he doesn't grapple. He just strikes now.
He just
He
strikes.
in
Yeah.
the UFC.
Fuck. Maybe he's speaking from experience, bro. Fuck.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that is weird, bro. Like, freaking, wasn't he like a D? I don't know if it was
He was
D1.
a wrestler. He was like
He was a
proper
wrestler.
good wrestler.
Yeah, I don't know if he was D1, but he was really good, right? He was really
Mm.
good, and he just freaking throws low kicks and power
just
rights all the
knocks
time.
people
Bro.
out.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, bro.
yeah.
But he's fighting. Is he fighting Dan Hooker soon?
Yes.
Is it in the
He
Sydney
is.
card or is it the?
No. It's the one after. I don't know where it's at, but it's the one after. Yeah.
That's gonna be a fucking CTE match, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fucked.
Oh, yeah, that
but,
would be.
But going back to my martial arts journey, yeah, fast, and then after jiu-jitsu, I did sprinkle in a bit of striking. So
Mhm.
inverse to Lawrence, because he wanted to pick up more jiu-jitsu because go Bangtao, I wanted to pick up some more striking. So what happened was, what we did was I did some privates at the Muay Thai gym that Lawrence trains at.
Mhm.
We did some 2-on-1 privates just to get me primed for Bangtao, and it helped. It helped a lot. Like I feel like it gave me a very good understanding on how to throw kicks, how to throw punches, and stuff. But yeah, and then we went to Bangtao. I credit all my striking, like in terms of classes, like and all my sparring, all of it to like Bangtao and like Brad Riddell and
Yeah.
like the
Oh,
shit
yeah.
that you teach me as well. And yeah, like yeah, that's like my whole style has just been developed there.
Wow.
And but now I don't strike at all.
I
I
do
hung up the
remember
gloves.
but when you guys went on that trip, like when you came back, you were both like, "Oh, Brad Riddell."
Yeah,
like,
Brad
it's, like,
Riddell's
so
good.
amazing, kind of.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So for like listeners, it's common like when you train like jiu-jitsu or something or like Muay Thai, it's common to fly to Thailand,
Yep.
Fly to Phuket, and then there's like gyms that you can just do a kind of a holiday training trip at, and that's what you guys did, right?
Yep.
Did at Bangtao.
Mhm. And that's what you did as well, like Tiger Muay Thai.
I did. Yeah, I went to
Yeah.
Tiger Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Trained for like 2 weeks. It's I'd say different because normally you wouldn't think to like go on a holiday to just like
Mhm.
Yeah.
train or something, but it's like it's a bit of an adventure. It's like something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were
Uh,
actually meant to come with us to Bangtao, but it just wasn't.
I just
wasn't the
flaked or
right time.
something, yeah,
No, I
yeah.
think it just wasn't the right timing, right?
Yeah, I think you had some stuff going on with like either applying for a new job or something like that, man.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should set up another trip, hey?
We
set
should.
up- we should
I
set
would
up
love
another
to.
trip.
So I think this time, would you want to train at like a Bangtao? I think I would rather just find like some authentic Thai gym and just like train there.
True.
How do you feel? How do you feel about that, or would you rather MMA?
I'm more of a grappler, so I
Yeah,
would
well-
like because I really like the Hickman brothers. Like
Oh, yes,
they
yeah.
teach the grappling at Bangtao,
Yeah.
so I'd be pretty keen for that.
Yeah. But you're originally a striker, bro.
True.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
Should I
bro,
return
yeah.
to my true calling kind of
Yeah,
thing?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But
Bro,
Ah.
if I had like just say if I didn't have to work, like just say I won the lottery,
mhm.
I feel like I would want to just train MMA like all day.
Or that?
yeah,
like,
that'll be
properly take
dream.
up like striking and everything.
Exactly.
It's a full-time job. Like I can't be coding and shit
Yeah.
when my MMA career is calling me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's what Arman Sarukian.
Yeah.
He has like his dad is like a millionaire or some multi-millionaire, owns like a bunch of
Oh.
businesses, and Arman just does it as a hobby. He trains MMA.
What?
Yeah, he's technically like a hobbyist. Because most MMA fighters, it's like do or die.
Yeah.
Like, you make it work or you
Have to
don't.
make it or
Oh, I
make
guess so,
MMA.
yeah.
Arman is like
It's a side hustle for
it's
him.
a side hustle. Like if
Yeah.
he can just stop fighting and he'll still not have to worry about money.
Yeah, because it's loaded.
Yeah.
Right. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Who,
But
who do you think like would do better? Do you reckon like someone who's coming up like an Alex Pereira, like, oh, I need to make it. Like,
Yeah.
do you think that kind of drive is better, or do you reckon someone like Armand,
Yeah.
where like you've got all the resources, you don't need to
Yeah.
worry about money, and then you can just get the best coaches and all that?
well, maybe it just comes down to the person and their upbringing,
Yeah.
man. Maybe his dad might be loaded, but maybe because like they're Armenian. Are they Armenian?
Yeah,
or
Armenian.
Armenian, yeah. Like I just know like I don't know, not to be stereotypical, but like with I guess like us as Asians, even like some Middle Easterns and stuff, like they have a different type of work ethic, right? Especially if we're talking
Mm.
about like the older generation, like
Yeah,
our
yeah.
parents and stuff. They have like that different hustlers mentality and like
Mhm.
just telling your kids fucking work hard, keep grinding and all that. Like I guess if his dad like instilled that on him to like just grind, like if
That's
you
true.
if you want to do something, like do it, give it your all. But let's say if you have all the resources and you have no drive to do it, or the drive might not be as high as the other guy, then I guess you probably won't come up like on top.
That's true.
Yeah.
Depends on the person, I guess you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the
Very
person.
case by case.
Yeah. But like I did watch a video on YouTube though regarding like why famous athletes, right? Like take like your Michael Jordans, your Mike Tysons and all that, like the goats of their sport. But like so like with their like genetic makeup, they should, I guess on paper, produce some more genetic phenoms, right?
Yeah.
Like, but a lot of their kids like don't pursue the same thing. Like they're not as talented. Like take Michael Jordan's kids for example. Like they don't perform as well. They tried getting into basketball, but I think they played at like a high school level or something, but they didn't. They're obviously not Michael Jordan. And they were saying something about just like how struggle creates like champions. So, like having that like do or die mentality, like you said. So yeah,
Depends on how you raise them. Hey, maybe like there's a lot of parents they just when they're rich they just spoil their kids, which creates a lot more weakness. But let's say if they do have money, like I think Shaq does this to his kids. It's like I'm rich, but you're not. Right?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
his
yeah.
kids fly economy. But
Yeah.
he flies
It's
first.
in my
I think it was Shaq. It was some basketball player.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I feel like that's a pretty good way to raise up your kids, and I think they will accomplish a lot more that way. I feel like.
Yeah.
You just don't want to spoil them too much, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure, man. But for the viewers out there, right, like we got sidetracked a bit talking about like UFC and all that, but what I guess what would you recommend like in terms of like martial arts for like the viewers if someone's like wanted to try a martial art, but there's so much out there. You've got like your jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, like MMA can also just be trained purely as MMA, like from zero experience. You can just go in and train MMA, but like, what's like, what recommendation? Like, would you guys have recommendations? Like, or would you just show them jiu-jitsu? Like,
I don't really have a recommendation. It really depends on personal preference, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe some people have an issue of personal space.
mm-hmm.
If you do, then probably don't do jiu-jitsu. Just do some striking sport.
Yeah.
I actually did a whole presentation on this. For my previous company, we did like a end of year presentation, and I did martial arts. I presented martial arts,
Nice.
and then I just came up with a few categories. Let's say if you're afraid of brain damage, then probably don't do striking. But if you have a problem with personal space, then don't do jiu-jitsu. Don't do grappling.
Don't do grappling.
Yeah.
Because you get people sweat on you and all
Yeah.
that. Like I've got friends who are very particular about that. So I think they much prefer like striking over like trying out
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu.
Mm.
But
That's-
it hasn't stopped me from trying to shill it to everyone I know.
What about just for like pure defense or self-defense? Like, I want to be able to handle myself if like shit gets serious. What would you recommend?
I reckon if that's your primary concern,
Mhm.
start off with jiu-jitsu because it's always going to be helpful. Kind of like what I was saying earlier, where
Yeah.
if someone grabs you, you want to know the basics to
Mhm.
kind of like to get away from them, right?
Yeah.
But to be like a complete fighter, you really do need to do MMA.
Yeah.
I feel like most of the time when people are like interested in self-defense, it's more of just a confidence thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, if you get cornered by like 4 or 5 people, like you're probably not getting out.
Yeah.
Or if someone
for sure.
pulls a knife or someone decides to run you over.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you've trained for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I feel like the self-defense part is more about self-awareness, which you may
Mhm.
not get from like combat sports.
Yep.
But you do get like confidence, which is like
Yeah.
very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So like you like I think I feel this as well. Like I like when since training like Muay Thai like maybe a good like 6 months to 12 months, like if shit does get down, I wouldn't be too scared anymore. Like if
Mm.
someone was to, like if I was in a kind of hostile environment, or if in an environment with like a bunch of dodgy characters, and like I'm scanning the room, like something could go down, you know. But like, oh, I better make a run for it. But obviously, number one, if something does get down, like make a run for it. But yeah, just in case, it just makes me feel a bit like safer. That I should be able to handle myself. But
I feel like it's like because you get used to a certain level of like conflict or intensity,
mhm.
and it's like you're not as jumpy, right? If
Yeah.
someone starts like pressing you like a little bit, like
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
aggressive,
Yeah.
you're kind of used to that energy, so
Exactly.
you have the ability to kind of like de-escalate a little bit because you're
Mm.
not like scared,
Yeah.
but or you're not as scared. But
Yep.
if you've never fought in your life and you're like really scared, you might just re-escalate because
Yeah.
like you don't know what to do. You might just throw the first punch
Very
kind of thing.
punch, yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, or you might start like arguing back verbally
Mm.
as well, because I think like with martial arts, it's made me a bit more calm in those certain
Yeah, for
situations.
sure.
I
Yeah.
haven't had too many like confrontational moments where like someone wants to fight me, but like since then. But if
Since then.
since then, but if that was to happen to me, or like if I'm thinking like if someone was to be a bit pissed off at me, or like just like rude fucking strangers, right? Like I don't feel as like rattled in the moment, and I'm still just a lot more calm. Like I can just speak how I normally would speak, and then you try to diffuse that situation
Mm.
there. Yeah, opposed to like, let's say if like all I had was my words, and like and that's my only defense mechanism, I would start like talking shit to them, like, yeah, fuck you, man, like, yeah, come, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. hold me back, come.
Someone please
Yeah.
hold me back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that tends to like make the situation worse, and yeah, it's usually like the guys who can't fight that end up in those situations as well.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I've noticed though? Let's say I feel like I've gotten a lot more calm as I progress in. I feel like when you, especially the beginners, like the 0 to 3 months when they first start jiu-jitsu, they feel like they're like top shit, like, oh, I can take on the world. That's definitely how I felt. I
Yeah.
remember the first 3 weeks of training jiu-jitsu, I was like, oh, I could probably kill myself, like the version of myself 3 weeks ago. Like, I could kill him. And then, but then the more I train, the more like calm I get. That like, yeah, like this shit can be dangerous. You're not that good, but then you're still. I feel like a lot more calm, and just I can handle myself a lot better in a lot of different situations.
Mm.
And yeah, and I feel like a lot of people when they first start, they get very aggressive. Like they're like, oh, I fucking do Muay Thai, bro. And then like they get a lot more aggressive, and then like after the 3-month mark, they start like calming down a bit.
Mm.
Like, do you guys get that, or
I
or
feel
am I
like
just
Yeah.
looking out of my ass?
you know like the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
I think so.
I feel like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
similar. It's like
Yeah,
when you first start, you feel like you like learn so much, and then at a
Mhm.
certain point, you start realizing you just
Mm.
don't really
Yeah.
know much at all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
it's it's like that meme where it's like, oh, like me after one Muay Thai session, and then it's like some guy fucking like ooh wee, like kicking the door and shit, and like just like walking around like fucking doing that, and you're thinking that they're on top of the world. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, but what I
100%.
have noticed is I haven't trained any martial arts for the past 3 months, and I'm just gonna talk about how I feel. Like I feel like
Mm.
after my hiatus, I've definitely noticed a very big difference, man. Like I feel like I feel a bit more stressed for sure.
Mm.
For I don't know, not even like for like no reason. I just feel a bit more stressed, and then I also feel like I can crash out a bit more. Like things that don't usually annoy me start to annoy me.
Mm.
I don't know why. I also don't know if it's because I stopped training martial arts. But yeah, that's just what I've noticed, and I think. Well, I'll update you guys in a few months' time when I do
You're
return.
back to
When I do
training.
return back to training, and I'll see how I feel then. But
Yeah.
I have noticed those side effects when I have stopped training martial arts.
Are you like training anything at all? Are you going to the gym and stuff?
I am
Yeah.
going to the gym, but
Okay,
not
yeah.
not as much as I should be because of my injury and just seems just
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
a bit seems and I definitely need to get back into routine.
Maybe you just have like some internalized anger, and that's martial arts, and like with power doubling some freaking white belt.
Yeah.
Like power doubling this white belt and putting him into freaking Kimura, like is where your
You're
is your
venting.
outlet, bro.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
vent, bro.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
I need to
'cause-
go back, bro. I need to go back.
Yeah, because he's like very calm now, but like on the mats, he's pretty aggressive, bro. Like, yeah,
do.
he's pretty aggressive on the mat.
I used
so-
to be. I used to be actually really fucking aggressive, man. I used to be the biggest spaz.
Yeah, he
Like,
he
I-
steps on you to pass your guard and like.
I don't step hard though. I don't like. I don't stomp on you. But
yeah,
I used to be very fucking aggressive on the mats, but I've gotten a lot better. I
yeah,
think.
yeah. Maybe you just need to go back and smash some white belts.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe.
Um,
I think
Yeah.
for someone considering it, I was just like thinking back on your like
yeah, back to
original
that.
question.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like I think number one thing is the most important thing is that you've got to have fun with it. So
Yeah.
I reckon give each one a try. I would say stick to the main combat sports that are used in MMA.
Mm-hmm.
So Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, if you can find it.
What about
gym.
Wing Chun?
No.
And taekwondo.
Don't-
Taekwondo.
Yeah, Anderson
Nope,
Silva.
don't do
bro.
those ones.
Come on, Michael
Because-
Page, bro.
Because one, you're probably gonna find like you're more likely to find a quality gym
Yeah,
if you do one of these because they
That's true,
probably
that's
do like
true.
live training.
yeah.
You 100% want to choose a martial art that does live training.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it just feels a bit. It just feels like they're just hanging out, and then you're not
Yeah.
really making progress. It's not
Yeah.
a real journey.
Yep.
I
Yep.
feel like you want something that you can take seriously, that you can spend like years on.
Yeah.
But for me, the main reasons I do it is because it's just a very fun way to stay in shape, right? When I was doing like only gym, it was only fun when I was like really young and I would always train with mates and all that.
Mhm.
But once I started training by myself, I just never ended up going because it was boring.
Yeah,
But
true.
jiu-jitsu, it's like, I come, I'm like, I don't need to arrange anything. I just come, I hang out, I get a bit of a workout in.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm progressing. So it just feels really good
Mm.
for life
True.
in general.
Yeah.
But I reckon the main thing is like try all of them. Like try all of them, see which one sticks, and kind of keep the mindset that it's just for your own health. It's just for fun,
Mhm.
like, and you don't need to focus too much on what is the best martial art.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I guess pick one that like
Yeah.
I guess you prefer. But in terms of like, but I guess you don't know what you don't know. So like if I was to make a recommendation, like
Mm.
let's say purely just on self-defense, like if you're anxious about certain situations or for some odd reason you always end up in like situations where someone's about to punch you in the face, like and you just want to like prepare for that. I think I'll first make a recommendation just based off what you can pick up the fastest, and that'll be like a striking sport. I think boxing, like although I've never trained like at a boxing gym, like I do have a friend, shout out Edward. He's used to train boxing, and then sometimes I do Muay Thai privates with him, and he incorporates a lot of boxing into my Muay Thai. And like every time I train with him, I barely throw a kick because I just focus like straight up on hands. And I think like boxing is like the easiest to pick up, like a smaller learning curve. But as soon as like you've done it for like maybe 3 months, man, like you definitely be able to knock out someone who hasn't done any type of martial arts. Like I saw this freaking guy at our gym wellness department. He was just hitting the bags, and I was just like cooling down. I finished, and I was just watching him hit the bags, and I'm like, damn, this guy looks pretty good. And I just had a chat with him, and he's like only been training for like 6 months or something. But and like I asked him like, oh bro, when you throw your like right hook, can you show me how you throw it? Like I was asking him for a bit of advice. I'm like, his hands definitely look like a lot better than mine. And yeah, it's only 6 months. I was like, damn, this guy looks so good for 6 months. And after doing more research and stuff, like a lot of people say that yeah, boxing has like that lower learning curve. And yeah, when you know how to box, like it's just like yeah, it's something that you could just use to not beat up someone, but like defend yourself like effectively, like with just your hands. It's not too overcomplicated. So Yeah, that's what I recommend for like ease of learning. But I guess like pure self defense, like I think something with takedowns, like maybe not, like not jiu-jitsu, like maybe like a judo or like or wrestling,
Mm.
right? If like you really just want to like incapacitate the guy and like run away, right? Like if you can do what's like a uchimata on someone and just
Yeah.
throw them onto the ground and like and you just run away, like
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Throw them on
true.
concrete. They're
Yeah,
out.
on concrete.
you know?
Oh, bro,
They're
I
probably
don't
dead.
wanna-
Yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah. Never mind, bro. Like, don't uchimata someone on concrete. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, something like that. Like that'll just basically like if it'll immobilize them or it'll stun them, right? Like getting tossed onto the ground. Like
Yeah.
it'll maybe take them like a few seconds to recover, and that few seconds will give you enough time to just bolt off and dash away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true. Because like I feel like takedowns are like probably the most important part
mm-hmm.
of like grappling. Like for like a self-defense scenario. I do have one counter though, which is that one, it's like hard to find pure wrestling like places.
Yeah,
Like it's usually
especially in Australia.
It's
Yeah.
just not really a thing.
Yeah,
And two, I feel like submissions are so common now. Like if someone just like puts you in a headlock or something,
mm.
like wrestling, you don't really get trained for that.
Yeah,
So
true.
I feel like submission defense is like the second most important
Yeah,
part of like grappling. So I reckon something like your gym, Edmund, which
Yeah.
is like a very wrestling like or MMA focused like type of grappling place.
Yeah.
Is like really, really good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even like parts of Muay Thai as well, like the clinch.
The clinch,
like when
yeah,
you're in
yeah.
that
Oh, yeah,
situation, because
yeah.
that's like a very common situation. Like
in wrestling, yeah.
yeah, or like even I'm talking about even just a self defense standpoint or like a common altercation of like let's say a street fight or something. Like two guys start bickering, arguing, and then like one guy like just stands, grabs his shirt and shit, and like they come close, like becomes this pushing match. And then
Yeah.
if you know how to clinch, you just come with the double collar tie. Maybe you sweep him, dump him on the ground, and make your way home.
My train is here.
Yeah, my trade is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like me personally, I feel like for self-defense, just a combination of if I train purely to defend myself, I would just train boxing and wrestling.
Mm,
I think
Boxing and
that's
wrestling.
honestly I think that's all I'll need.
mm.
Because I guess submission defense is good, but I feel like with if I'm in an altercation and I can still run, I feel like they won't really get me. They won't have the chance to really get me in a submission.
Mm.
Especially if you double leg them onto concrete, they'll
Yeah,
probably
like
let go.
Or
Yeah.
just knock them out.
Yeah, true,
Alright,
true, true.
alright.
Oh, yeah.
How about this now? A fun little game. So imagine yourself in a bar, right?
Mhm.
And this guy like this guy starts like arguing with you, like oh no, you just bumped into him. Like, hey bro, like what the fuck's your problem, man? Why you bump into me for? You made me spill my drink. Blah 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 blah. He's like visibly intoxicated. You are slightly intoxicated too, right?
Mhm.
And he looks like he wants to go. Like he's like, you can see his body language. Like he has his fist balled up. He's like, you know, like he's like looking down, looking up, looking you up, giving you the up down, and like shit is about to go down, right?
Yeah.
And you have no option of running away
Mm,
because your girlfriend is there as well.
mm. And you would look bad.
Exactly.
So you have to.
Yeah.
You will look bad. She's
Yes.
gonna be like, "What the hell, dude? Why'd you run away? I can't date a loser like you."
Yeah.
What
Mm.
would you do in that situation?
situation.
Like to be able to diffuse the situation with your martial arts.
Diffuse or like
Or like just maybe like immobilize him enough for you to be able to show your girlfriend, "Hey, I ain't a bitch," and also
yeah.
be able to make your escape. So you don't have to proceed with, you know, further physical beatdowns.
I think I know what I'd do.
Mm.
Honestly,
Go ahead.
like
Give me the sequence,
Is-
the exact sequence.
so I would let's say if he was a swing, duck under, take his back, choke him out.
Swing, duck under, take
Yeah.
his back and choke him
If
out.
if he was a swing,
That's
just,
a good sequence.
duck under,
Yeah.
take his back, and then choke him out.
True. Okay. Well, no, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
What would you do?
Oh, for me, I think I would still like keep my distance. I use my cheeky Muay Thai long guard, but I'll disguise it as like, hey man, I don't want any trouble. But this is just for me to gauge my distance, right? The long guard, right? Usually it's like that, but it's like, hey man, I don't want any trouble. And then I'll just like throw the hardest leg kick I've ever thrown in my life, and he'll be like, oh, and I'll just like hook him in the face, and I'm like, let's go. Yeah, yeah,
That worked too. That worked
yeah,
too.
yeah.
What would I do? Okay,
Oh, you can't pull guard, bro.
I'm gonna say the opposite.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I was gonna full guard. But if I can't do that, I would do the opposite of you. I wouldn't stay too far.
Mhm.
I'd go the opposite because they kind of say like you don't want to be in that middle range where like people can strike.
Mhm.
You want to be either like too far or like
Yeah.
really close.
Yeah.
So there's like a tip I saw John Danaher. He's like a jiu-jitsu guy. He used to be a bouncer, and what he said was like, you want to approach like this.
Mhm.
Oh, like trying to de-escalate.
Yeah.
But you're actually just getting your hands close.
Ah.
Grab it like a collar tie.
Yeah.
And like tricep, probably like snap down, get them to the ground,
Mhm.
and then go for das or something that where I stay on top.
Yeah. 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 What if he has like a thick ass neck? Like this guy does like neck curls for some odd reason,
Curls.
and like you're like, damn, I don't think I can snap him down.
Probably start. Oh, snap! No, you can snap him down.
It's unexpected, right?
Yeah, you can snap him down because like
Yeah.
if he pulls back, you like go for the double leg,
Oh
So
yeah,
that- so
yeah,
that's the
that's true.
combo.
That's true. That's the combo.
and you get on top, and then
Yeah.
I don't know, because if you start throwing elbows on the ground, it's like you probably get in trouble.
You're in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bit too much, bro.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Alright.
He'll
hook.
He'll
He'll
hook.
hook.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
True. True. Yeah. You can start doing leg locks now, bro. We
Yeah,
get it.
yeah,
We
yeah.
get it, man. Yeah. But no, that's pretty. Like, that's pretty good. Like, I guess you're stuck to your sports, right?
Mhm.
Stuck to your sports,
Mm.
stuck to what you know. But yeah, I think like the most important part again is like you said, like live action, like actually sparring, doing like situational. So even if you choose like the best like boxing gym under, like, well, even you choose the best boxing gym under our like recommendation to choose boxing or to choose jiu-jitsu, if it's like something like a McDojo and you don't actually do like applied learning where you spar and like test out your stuff in real life scenarios, yeah, it's probably not going to work for self-defense anyway,
Mhm.
because when you hit the pads, like pads don't hit back, and it's when the other target like actually starts moving and starts hitting you as well, like a lot of that
Yeah.
training will just go out the window if you haven't acclimatized yourself for it.
100%. It's like driving. Like, I feel like a lot of people will like kind of get that same experience of like driving around a car park is not the same as driving like on a highway, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
And like the difference between drilling and like live,
Yep.
like a fight is exactly like that.
Yeah.
Everything, like all of your thoughts, or if it's not ingrained in your body,
Yeah.
you're not gonna be able to do it under that level of pressure.
Yeah.
Exactly. And because there's like multiple answers to every, I guess, like strike or every position, like multiple answers to that. Like you might have just drilled a certain position, like, oh, if he puts his arm there, then you can grab it, swing your leg around, and do this. But like, what if in that situation he doesn't put his arm there?
Yeah.
Like, shit, man, put your arm there, bro. Yeah, so like actually having those live action rounds would definitely
Mhm.
help with that self-defense, and that will
Yeah.
really brush up your confidence as well, because I don't know about you guys when you first started rolling, or when you first started sparring, like for striking, for example, but for me, when I was doing Muay Thai for a couple months, I felt like I was like top shit. You know, I can throw elbows and all that. Haven't been to a single sparring class yet, and as soon as my first like sparring round like started, like, oh no, not when it started, like after I felt the first punch hitting my face, I was like, fuck, this is very different from hitting pad. And my confidence went from here all the way down to here after the first sparring class, and it stayed there for like the next 5 weeks going sparring. I was like, I was just getting my ass handed to me, like,
Yeah.
what's going on? So yeah, it really like changes, right? You could do all this like theory, you could train at home or whatever, but like nothing will really prepare you for self-defense until you actually start testing what you've learned, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I remember my first sparring session. So funny thing, so at this point I had pretty much no striking experience, and then I had a friend that trained kickboxing like a few times a week, and he wasn't the most athletic person in high school. So I was like because we were meant to have a sparring session. I was like, I'm gonna fucking knock you out. So I'm gonna destroy you, bro. And I wouldn't say I was confident. I was just trying to get in his head. And then I fast forward to when we did do it, bro. I was like, my face was like a punching bag. Honestly, I did a lot better than I expected, but I got hit in the face a lot of times.
Yeah.
And it was a very humbling experience.
Trust the iron face technique.
Yeah, the iron face technique.
Iron face. Oh yeah, true. That's what we learned in Shaolin, eh?
Yeah,
like that's all
iron
the
face.
Shaolin experience.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like how the Shaolin monks, you know?
Yeah.
Have you seen the Shaolin monks when they fight MMA, they use their face, they just get hit.
Yeah.
Is it MMA or was it boxing?
Are you talking about the bald
Yeah.
dude, Yi Long?
I think so.
Yeah,
I saw it on
he
YouTube.
fought Bokao, right?
I'm not honestly. I don't even know who.
Like he was
fought.
doing boxing gloves and shit.
Yeah.
Yi Long. I think he was like some kickboxing champion for a bit, but he got beaten by Bokao and then he lost to Bokao. No, he got beaten by Bokao and then he beat Bokao afterwards, like in their rematch or something.
Oh really?
Or vice versa.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
but
shit.
like apparently there's like I saw that as well when I was like in freaking like year 7 or year 8 or something, like when I was young, and I was like, yeah, Shaolin is the shit, because I was training Shaolin. I'm like, look at this Shaolin monk is just destroying this Muay Thai guys. But turns out that he wasn't actually a monk, like, or that was just a gimmick, like he was a fake monk basically.
Oh,
Like he never trained at a Shaolin temple apparently, like because he couldn't really name which temple he trained at.
Right.
Like and also that's like against Shaolin principles as well.
Mhm.
Like it's Shaolin is trained like within the Shaolin temples, and it's only used for self-development. Like it's not used for fighting or whatever.
Right.
It's all just like just for personal growth.
Discipline.
Yeah,
Right.
discipline, all that stuff. Like they would never like go and freaking fight in the fight in K1 or something, whichever organization that was. But yeah.
Oh, wow.
But
Never
he did like do some good marketing for Shaolin though. He was like he had his hands down, he was walking forward.
Yeah, he was like
like
walking
that.
forward, he was getting punched and there was no effect.
No effect,
I was
yeah.
like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah,
Crazy.
exactly. He probably has CTE now, bro.
Probably.
Yeah.
But and then I had another sparring session like in a proper gym, and I was getting my ass handed to me by everyone. And that was right before we went to Bangtao, and I was just getting my ass handed to me. And then I think I made a bet with one of my friends, Richard. I was like, after I come back from Bangtao, I'm gonna destroy you. And then I came back, and I don't think I destroyed him, but I did a lot better than previously, and I feel like my confidence went up heaps.
Mm,
I should do more striking.
yeah. Do you remember your first roll?
Um,
First few times you rolled, maybe?
I do. I remember it was like I think I just got instantly submitted by like a girl. Like,
oh shit!
it was like probably rear naked choke, something like that. I was like, fuck, this shit works. Because at the time I was like I was going to the gym as well. Like I was decently beefy.
Yeah.
But it's like you just completely helpless. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first like 3 months you're doing it,
Yeah.
and then only after like a couple months did I ever get my first submission. The first like little while is like really demoralizing.
Yeah.
Because you just come in and just get submitted over and over and
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
But tastes very sweet when it starts working.
Did you submit that girl back? Like later?
I don't know. I don't remember. Like I feel like she stopped training. Like
Oh,
back then. Yeah.
She was like, oh, this guy's getting too good, bro. I don't know.
I'm out. Yeah.
I'm out. What was I had something that I wanted to say, but now I kind of forgot.
What,
It was
like,
related to jiu-jitsu.
What benefits do you guys feel like you get like from like martial arts? Because maybe I'll just start off because there's a point I was trying to make, which is that I feel like it kind of gives me a model of how to improve in like other areas of
Mhm.
my life, because it's so like it's kind of like a game, and then like
Yup.
you spend so many hours on it, so you
Yeah.
kind of like you kind of pick a direction. You kind of like, listen to your coach and all that. You
Mhm.
kind of like go research, try things out. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's really taught me how to just improve at like anything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anything like that for you guys?
Honestly, for me, it's just the mental benefits. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, just to change my life, but like, it definitely helped me. Like, I feel really good after every session.
Yep.
And then I just feel like, let's say if you spent the whole day like doom scrolling or something, and you just feel so fried, but after a jiu-jitsu session, just feel like reborn, revitalized,
Mm.
and it's definitely made me a lot more calm as well.
Yeah.
Just be able to deal with my emotions a bit better. Yeah. So don't crash out as much.
Mm. Yeah, for me, the biggest thing that I would like that I would say, like, the biggest benefit that I've reaped, which has translated to other parts of my life, would be the ability to like stay relaxed. Because in striking, especially, like it's it's intuitive for you to like be really tense because you want, like when you're throwing a punch, like you think like tense is good because that'll generate power, right? But it's actually it's actually the opposite because like you'll be very stiff, like the transfer of energy, like you'll basically lose a bit of energy when you're as you're traveling. So yeah, being able to stay relaxed and like hit like a whip, be more loose, and like in Muay Thai especially, like it's very, very important to stay relaxed. It's a big thing that a lot of the like traditional Thai coaches like ingrained from day one as well. Is like, oh, relax, sabai, like stay relaxed, man,
Yeah,
all that stuff, and that has helped me. Like I've used that same thought process with a lot of things, like other sports as well. Like not that I play a lot of sports, but when I'm doing something else physical, I'm like, let me just stay relaxed and see if it'll be a bit better. Like for example, we were riding our cousin Sydney's electric longboard. Yeah, boosted board.
Yeah, boosted board.
Apparently, it goes up to freaking. He was saying like freaking like 30 something miles an hour, which is like 50 k's. It goes up to really fast. And when I jumped on it, I was like, bro, this thing is like super fast, man. Like it just jolts. But I was like, oh, okay, survive, stay relaxed, stay relaxed. And like I got the hang of it like instantly after that. Yeah, even my cousin was surprised, like, dude, like, how do you like get the hang of it so quickly? I'm like, Muay Thai, bro, survive, man, Muay Thai, bro.
Damn.
All right, relax and calm down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then like I was just riding it I've been riding it for a good amount of time, so it was pretty easy and like similar to other things like when we went to go, shoot some pew pew. Don't want to say the actual word in case it gets a shadow banned, but we went to shoot some pew pews. Also staying relaxed as well. I remember in New Zealand when I first went to shoot, the guy was like, oh yeah, usually girls do a bit better because girls are more relaxed than guys. Like guys are a bit more tense and stuff. So like their aim is all off and all that. Especially if you're shooting multiple rounds, like it's just super tense. But when you're relaxed, that's when you have a better like aim. So and that just translates to like so many like physical things, just staying more relaxed and just
Don't you have
tensing
to
up in
brace
that last
though?
moment.
Don't you have to brace when you shoot them?
Yeah, I guess so. But like, I'm sort of relaxing. I'm relaxing first, and then the last second, that's when I typically
Okay.
brace. I don't know if it's the right technique, man. You know, I'm not an expert. I'm not a sharpshooter, but that's what I've done, and like it's helped me. It's helped me with other aspects like that.
Just staying relaxed and
Staying
like,
relaxed.
Yeah,
that's a good default to kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
Like feel like physically or like just physically relaxing your body, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That just seems to be my solution when I'm trying something new and I don't get it on the first go. I'm like, okay, let me try to stay relaxed. Yeah, let me stay relaxed, bro. Yeah,
Okay.
use the same fundamentals and then translate it over.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the biggest thing that I think martial arts.
I wanted to touch on this since you guys both do complete opposite sports now. Like one, you're striking. Would you say you're a striking main now? Would you say
Striking
you're
main?
a
Striking
striking
main.
main, and you're like
Yeah,
more grappling.
I guess so. Yeah.
What
I think so. Yeah.
for? I'll start off with grappling. Like, what tips would you give, let's say, a person just starting, like, for them to improve a lot faster? Like, let's say, like a Joseph Chen, for example.
Oh yeah.
I think
Question.
the main thing this is kind of meta, but it's whatever gets you to go to class as much as possible. So really important to keep your motivation up. Really important to keep it fun for yourself. So one is like, make sure to just make friends at your gym. Like, say
Yeah.
hi to everyone. Because if you're kind of like anxious, I know I was when I first started. I was like, oh, all these people I don't know, like I have to go like talk to them or whatever. Like the sooner you get to know all of them, the sooner it becomes like, oh, I'm just coming to hang out with my friends. And then you just end up going like a lot and you'll
Mhm.
naturally improve very quickly.
Yeah.
I guess for jiu-jitsu specifically, following kind of a problem-solving mindset gets you to improve very fast. So just say you come in and then you just get submitted by the same submission like 4 times,
Yeah.
or just say you get submitted by 4 different submissions. Just pick one and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna figure out how to solve that problem.
Mhm.
And then next time you come in, you just like repeat that process,
Mhm.
and you just solve problems one at a time. Be
Yeah.
very intentional when you're learning, and then you those are the biggest factors I feel like that will help.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the like going to a place that you can go quite often and going to a welcoming environment as well,
Mm.
Yeah.
because there are some like pretty like toxic gyms out there with like very bad culture. Like not to name specific names, but the gym of the guy that put you in a straight belly down straight ankle lock. You know that gym? It
That well, what's wrong with that, Jim?
no the gym that he went I don't know, actually no. I don't know if it's the same guy, but the first guy that you grappled with, the Islander bloke with the ratty, who was an MMA fighter. You know how there was like a big bunch of them
Yeah.
at that, like, you know that gym, right? The
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
know
gym.
that gym.
Well, oh no, apparently like I've heard very bad stories about them. Like
Oh, really?
if you go there as a if you go there and like they end up like smashing you, like they won't respect you.
Oh,
and-
really?
And if
Didn't
you
know
like
that.
go there and you can hold your own and maybe you one up them, they'll respect you basically. Yeah.
It's like prison, bro.
It's like prison. Yeah, it's a very like toxic gym culture. It's an MMA gym at the end of the day, but like apparently it's just like a very very like toxic gym culture there, from what I've heard. Like they're just all just a bunch of HKs, and like it's a very intimidating environment, and
Oh, yeah.
it's not welcoming until you prove yourself basically.
Mm.
But as a beginner, that's definitely not the place you want to be. Like maybe some people strive in that environment, but like you don't really you don't learn your best under stress like that. Like it creates a hostile stressful environment. So finding the right gym with a welcoming like environment, when it comes to the culture, the staff, the trainers, like I'm very grateful that the Muay Thai gym that I went to was coached by our longtime friend Thomas, and he's got like this knack of like, I don't know how he does it, but he remembers like 50, 60 people's names, and I swear he remembers them like off first go, and he's always calling people by their names, and yeah, he's like creates a really really like good environment, and like the gym has like this like no dickhead policy as well, so everyone's there really just to support each other.
It's on the wall, right?
It's on the wall as well. Yeah,
There's
yeah.
actually saying no dickhead.
Yeah, it did. I don't know if it does anymore, but yeah, yeah, actually said that. But yeah, having that environment, so you're like not afraid to ask questions, not afraid to like make mistakes and be corrected by them afterwards, and just being like open to learning and being curious.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for me, when I first started, like maybe it's just like me being that type of guy. Like when I first start something new, I decide to like invest like so much of my time in it. So after my first few lessons, I go online and start watching like a bunch of Muay Thai techniques, and I started watching Jeff Chan MMA Shredded. Like, shout out to Jeff Chan. Went to a seminar. But yeah, just started watching a bunch of Muay Thai videos. Like then started like analyzing fights and all that. So like with that as well, like the only reason why I did that was because I thought it was fun. It was like a hobby of mine, and I really enjoyed it. And because of that, it helped me like I guess propel my learning curve, or shorten the learning curve a little bit, and like get a lot better at it in a shorter period of time.
Can I piggyback off that point as well, which
Mhm.
is like related to your question, which is I feel like when you first start just say jiu-jitsu, it's really important to dedicate some like serious time to it, because if you just turn up once a week, you're probably not going to improve very fast, and you're going to get demotivated very quickly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you can, like try to go like maybe 3 times, or build up to it. Like your first 2 weeks, just do once a week or something. but build up to a good amount every week, like 3-4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Because the sooner you get over that initial bump of like 3 months where you're just getting smashed all the time,
Yep.
you just hit a point where it starts feeling good. You start catching some submissions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're not always on the bottom. There's like some new guy that's coming in that you can start beating.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that's a more tactical tip. Like if you can
Yeah.
get over that hump, you're gonna like it a lot more.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's good.
Oh, and also quickly, I just remembered like to shout out Thomas, but also shout out James. He listens to like all these episodes, so
Hey,
shout out to old Muay
Shout
Thai
out
coach
James,
James Lai. Hit him up for PTs if you guys want. Leave a comment, James, so people know where to find you. But yeah, he was like really a big like pivotal part of my. Oh, maybe not pivotal, but like he was a big influence into like how fast I can progress because, like I said earlier, that welcome environment, not being afraid to ask questions, and he really spent the time to break down my technique, what I was doing wrong, and then he would teach me shit that wasn't like gets taught in class, really just like helping a mate out. And yeah, if you do it wrong, he'll sort of correct you. He won't ridicule you for it, but then he'll work with you until you actually get it right. And yeah, just shout out to James, you know.
Shout out to
Yeah,
James.
shout out to James.
Yeah,
Well-
yeah, that's good because I feel like a lot of people, especially, they'll develop like some sort of game plan, and then they just stick to it, and they just hit the same thing over and over again every lesson. That I'm guilty of that. Like especially when I'm starting to get smashed, I'm like, fuck this. Let me just do
Back to
what
that game.
back to the normal game, and then, but then yeah, that's really not the best way to go about it because. Yeah, so if you want to improve fast, you just have to in jiu-jitsu context, you have to let go of the ego. And
Yeah.
like, but piggybacking off what Justin said, show up with intention. And even if you get caught in a submission, if you have to tap, at the end of the day, like, who cares? If they didn't break your arm, then you're fine. You just go home and then work on it and come back with a new game plan and just keep working on it. And just know that the first time you're probably going to fail and just keep at it.
Yeah, it's the same with everything. When you first start, you're gonna do shit at it, but just keep at it, keep the ego to the side. It's also a little bit hard. It's a bit harder to push the ego to the side when
It's very hard.
when some 50-kilo freaking accountant is like putting you in a rear naked choke 3 times in a row. So, but you know, you have to put it aside and
Yeah.
just keep going at it because you will become that accountant one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, boys, like I think like that kind of wraps up for today's episode. Before we end off today, we've got at the time of this recording, UFC 312. 312 is going to be in Sydney this Sunday. No, we're not going. We can't afford it. Uncle Dana.
I looked at the tickets, man. My jaw dropped.
How much
Yeah.
was it?
It was like, these were not even like close tickets. These were like nosebleeds tickets. They were $700.
$700.
Yeah.
Yeah, and funny
Like
thing,
triple
we were in
percent of
LA literally the same weekend that 311 was on. So
Yeah.
Islam was meant to be fighting Arman Sarukian, but he fought Hanato Moicano instead, Money Moicano. And who else was on the card? It was a big freaking card, man.
Umar versus Marab.
Umar versus Marab. Freaking who? It was.
I don't.
Actually don't remember now. But anyways, but yeah, we were there that same weekend. Looked at the prices, bro. It was like minimum like 800 USD
Oh.
or something, bro. It was outrageous, man. And they had like seats closer to the ring, but not like ring side. It was like $8,000 or something USD. It was freaking outrageous in Inglewood. I forgot what the stadium was called, but yeah, it was in LA. But yeah, man, like if Uncle Dana, if you're watching this, bro, like give us some tickets, man. Like,
Right,
give us-
if we get big enough, maybe we can afford our own tickets. But
yeah, that's true. So
until then,
yeah, so guys, please subscribe, man. Like, and get us to that 500 subscriber count so we can start monetizing this stuff. So yeah.
So I can afford to go to the
You
UFC.
go to the UFC, man. You see how much we love combat sports, man. But for real, the Uncle Dan, if you're watching this, man, tickets for next time you're in Sydney. But yeah, no, but yes, UFC 312 is this weekend. We've got Dricus versus Sean Strickland. Who do you guys think will win?
I like Dricus.
Dricus?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Dricus is gonna win.
Yeah, nah, same here. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. He's just got this very odd style, but
Mm.
it works, bro.
But it was close, very
Yeah.
close last time they fought.
Yeah,
But I'm rooting for Dricus.
yeah. I guess we'll see, man. We'll see. But yeah, that wraps up for today's episode. We'll see if our predictions are right this Sunday. But yeah, thanks for watching and listening. Make sure to subscribe if you're on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube and also follow us on Instagram and TikTok. I'll leave the socials in the description. But thanks, guys.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.